Hi, and welcome to Passion to Profits podcast with your host, Teresa W. Gamble, the founder and CEO of CRPC Consulting and ENT Gamble Enterprises, where our value is assisting people and businesses who are ready to advance in their personal and professional life to become empowered in your communication and presentation by putting processes and systems in place for execution for sustainable revenue streams. Today, we're going to continue our conversation about what is your value to help you define your unique value statement as a business or individual who are seeking to pursue a business. So when you're asked the question, "Hi, my name is Teresa Gamble. What do you do?" This podcast is going to help refine to help you state what you do without giving a long, drawn-out story to run away potential clients and customers or even partnerships in your business. So to create your unique value statement, you must understand your roots and your values. Gandhi has a quote that states, "Your belief becomes your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits, and your habits become your values. Your values become your destiny." That is very profound by Gandhi. So what is an overall definition of meaning of defining your values based on your roots? Values are fundamental, non-rational ideas, beliefs, intuitions, and dispositions that are distinct from facts of information, but nonetheless inform our knowledge-based action and decisions. Here are some key attributes of values. Values are implicit from your action and behaviors. What you do and how you act gives evidence to the underlying values you hold most important. Values are beliefs that influence your behavior and decision making. Values get at what you really believe is most important in life. Values typically underlie your long-term goals. Values are lifestyle priorities. And finally, values are intuitively learned and appropriated and may change in the course of your life experience and expanding your knowledge base. So those are some nuggets to give you some understanding how to create your unique value statement when you're in networking events or you're asked to pitch your business of answering the question, "What do you do?" So there's an exercise that I've attached with this podcast, with this audio recording, with this YouTube channel for you to explore even deeper understanding your roots and values. So I want you to select your top 8 values. For instance, my top 8 values are accountability, collaboration, democracy, equality, balance, commitment, determination, and most importantly, faith. Those are my 8 that I can pull from a values list that I'm also will share with you all with the worksheet exercise to this podcast, this YouTube channel, and this audio recording. So then once you have your top 8 values, to establish your unique value proposition statement, now let's narrow down your top 5 out of the 8 and then pick one core value that sits in the middle of everything. So my top 5 is accountability, collaboration, equality, and commitment, and my core value in the center that holds it all together is balance. Because you have to have balance. Even creating all these values, there must be a balance in your life. Family, church, business, opportunities, and even your children or your future, your legacy. You have to have a balance in all those things. So you need to make sure in your values that you're intentional, not just for all about you, but serving the people first, solving their problems first. And when you put them first, then the revenue streams and the opportunities and the things that you seek to pursue to grow yourself and your business will come to fruition. So I have some few reflection questions for you to think about and to work on the activity sheet that I have put together for you all. The first reflection question is, what are your passions that drive you? My passions that drive me is I'm in the season of my life of legacy building. I'm streamlining, I'm scaling where I can make money with my sleep, or I can make money without actively working my business every day, to my brand is growing where I can spend more time public speaking. I can spend more time innovating, book writing and publishing, and still providing value with the intellectual knowledge that I have acquired over the years of service, being in corporate America, working in the community, working in the churches with leadership on projects, working in the classroom as an educator, working with entrepreneurs, with the chamber. My list goes on and on. If you don't find ways to lead the value of the intellectual expertise you have gained, then it will go to the grave with you. So, do you want your passions and everything you work so hard for to go to the grave with you? Or do you want it to outlive you through books, through podcasts, through online courses, through videos, things of that nature that can be archived well after you gone, for not just your children and family and clients, but people who didn't have the opportunity to meet you or introduce themselves to you for you to provide value, to help them birth that idea, to take their business to the next level, to scale it to the next level, to launch out second or third or fourth businesses to the next level, but with balance in mind. So think about what are the passions that drive you. And remember, passions are value driven. So whatever your 8 value um, items that you selected, that drives your passion, believe it or not. That's why vision boards are important, whether it's on a poster board, whether you do it on a PowerPoint presentation digitally, whether you do it with a collage of photos from a magazine. They are very, very important, because we need to see the vision every day in order to execute it, and the vision comes from the passion that lies within you. Then the second reflection question I have for you: how do you think your passions are influenced and informed by the values you identified today, or vice versa? Look around you. Look at your personal life. Look at your professional life. Look at your church life. Look at your community life. So, what are those things that you are involved in individually, but they operate collectively? And they have a lot to do with your passion. Some of you like to feed the homeless. Some of you like to, clean up the blight in your community, in your neighborhood. Some of you want to solve so many problems in your community, in the system, in your workplace, and you're giving that intellectual property away, but you need to protect it. They have you signing these NDA, non-disclosure agreements, where once you leave, the ideas, the intellectual property stays with the company, but you can't monetize on it, but they can monetize on it. So you got to learn how to know how much to share, because if you found that system or that issue that the company is lacking to address, then launch it and do it on your own. Well, how can I do that? You have the vehicle of podcasting. You have YouTube channels. You have Facebook Live. You have Instagram TV. You have those that's not camera shy. You can do the voice, do a podcast, do a radio show. There are so many tools now that you can do from your phone, from your desktop. That's little of nothing, free of charge, to get started. And as you grow and get sponsors to sponsor your platform, your shows, your syndicate you, then you can be able to do more. You can be able to reach more. So that's why it's important. You have to get these values out of your head, out of your heart. You have to write them on paper in order to execute them to the next level. And CRPC Consulting has a very unique way holistically to help you extract that passion from your head, from your heart, from your background. Bring it together and cultivate it, and even look at the projects, look at the pictures, look at the things that you've done in the past. Create you a collage of all the community things that you have done to help and empower others. Now look at yourself. Can you do that for you? Can you replicate it for you to monetize it? So my encouragement for you today on this podcast is to take time out and talk to the talk to the Lord and tell him, God, give me the same passion that I have for those individuals, for their projects, for their opportunities, and those things that they desire to do. Do a uno reverse and give me that same passion and drive and tenacity to launch my own, to monetize my own. Let me host my own special events. Let me host my own virtual online events to garner those who have these problems and issues that I see and hear about, and no one is addressing the problem. They're overlooking it, or they tapping it, but they really not on the surface, but they really not taking a deep dive in the roots, in the trenches, to really clean it up so it doesn't come virtuous cycle where our next generation of children and grandchildren and great grandchildren don't have to deal with it. So you need to make sure you stop being hesitant. Get out of your way and execute it. You got the tools there. Stop waiting to get everything so perfect, nice, neat, in a gift box and in a bowl. You have to use what you got. Everything you need is in you, and they will come. And when they come, they will sow, they will support, they will finance, and that will help you build and expand and really brand it, because you have to see growth. We take, for instance, when you were born, you didn't come out a full grown person, already gifted, already talented to do the things you did. You came out as an infant, you came out as a child. You had to learn how to eat, you had to learn how to walk, you had to learn how to crawl, you had to learn how to run. So that is the same steps in business. You have to start somewhere, and sometimes we are so overzealous because we want everything to be perfect and in place. Let's get back to your roots and your value. It comes from your upbringing. My mother was a baker. She was a domestic worker. She always did things around the house creatively, and she learned how to monetize it because my father limited her on working as a domestic worker. So when she couldn't work anymore, she started baking. That was the gift that she inherited from my grandmother. All of her sisters, they baked. So they made cakes from scratch. We're not talking about store-bought cake. So she monetized on baking cakes, baking pies, making puddings, baking casseroles, sometimes even Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners. So around Thanksgiving and Christmas, our whole kitchen was almost a cafe, overflow with desserts and food and meals and things that people have ordered and bought. And she didn't have social media like we have it now. She received her customers by word of mouth because she put value in every one of her cakes, every one of her products. So if our ancestors did that back then and they don't have the tools that we have today, what is our excuse? That is my question. What is our excuse? Get out of your way and stop being imperfect and thinking things got to be so neat. Get some mentors and some influencers in your life. Get in some of these community groups where they offer free 5-day, 7-day challenges for you to rebrand yourself. Get you a Black Friday campaign going on to launch what you're doing. Don't worry about the platform being crowded and other people are doing it. Yes, they are, but they don't do it like you do it. You have to find a way to stand out above the noise, above the crowd, and you will get them. Don't do lives when everybody else doing lives. Pick a time when nobody ain't doing lives, but a lot of people is online. That's why you got to pay attention to your analytics on social media. Who is liking your posts and what time are they liking them? What is your demographics, who's listening to you the most. You need to do your homework and stop being complacent. If we stop looking at YouTube videos and reading everybody else post, scrolling and watching TV all the time, and invest the time and launch your idea, your project, your brand, you never know who will sow and invest in you. So this is your host, Teresa Gamble. We on the Passion to Profit podcast, and we're talking about how to create your unique value statement, which is a kind of a part 2B of what is your value, last podcast. And in the podcast comments, make sure you click on the form to create the exercise to develop your 8 values and pick out your top 5 with one core value. And with picking out those and defining those, what those words mean, then you can cultivate and create your value statement. For instance, I read you my unique value statement earlier, and it is: our value is assisting people and businesses who are ready to advance in their personal and professional life to become empowered in your communication and presentation by putting processes and systems in place for execution to obtain sustainable revenue streams. That is my unique value statement. So I'm looking forward to hear yours. So like and follow us on social media at CRPC Consulting LLC, or on LinkedIn, our company page, CRPC Consulting LLC. Again, this is your host, Teresa Gamble, for Passion to Profit podcast, the founder and CEO of CRPC Consulting and ENT Gamble Enterprises. We looking forward to hear you on the next podcast. And remember, launch your passion.